In the dimly lit corridors of a gleaming corporate skyscraper, where the hum of fluorescent lights echoed like distant thunder, a man named Elias scrubbed the floors with a mop that had seen better days, his back bent under the weight of invisible burdens. It was late evening, and the office Christmas party raged on in the grand atrium below, filled with laughter and clinking glasses from executives who barely noticed the shadows like him. But on this fateful night, as Elias paused to empty his bucket, a group of tipsy managers spotted him lingering near the ornate grand piano that sat like a forgotten relic in the corner. One of them, smirking with the arrogance of unchecked privilege, called out in a voice laced with mockery, daring the lowly janitor to play a tune, expecting nothing more than a fumbling embarrassment to fuel their amusement. Little did they know, as Elias hesitated, his calloused hands trembling slightly, that the melody about to unfold would shatter their cynicism and unearth a story of profound loss and unspoken talent, leaving even the stone-hearted CEO wiping away tears in the hushed silence that followed. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your own story of unexpected grace, share this video with someone who needs a reminder of humanity's warmth, and subscribe to Moments of Love for more tales that touch the soul. Elias had not always been a janitor, invisible in the labyrinth of glass and steel that was Apex Innovations, a tech giant where innovation was currency and people like him were mere maintenance. Once, in a life that felt like a distant dream, he had been a promising pianist, his fingers dancing across keys in concert halls that applauded his name, his compositions weaving tales of love and longing that critics hailed as genius. But fate, cruel and unrelenting, had rewritten his symphony when his wife, Maria, fell ill with a rare cancer that devoured their savings and her spirit in equal measure. She had been his muse, the light in his compositions, and as he held her hand through endless hospital nights, watching her fade, Elias poured his grief into music that no one heard. After her passing, he was left alone with their 5-year-old daughter, Lila, a bright-eyed girl with her mother's curls and a laugh that could chase away shadows. The medical bills piled up like an avalanche, forcing Elias to sell his beloved Steinway, abandon his dreams, and take the only job he could find, night shift janitor at Apex, where the pay was steady but the hours gnawed at his soul. He worked tirelessly, mopping endless floors, emptying trash bins filled with the remnants of others' successes, all while rushing home at dawn to prepare breakfast for Lila, help with her homework, and tuck her into bed with stories of far-off adventures. The exhaustion etched lines into his face, deeper than his 40 years warranted, and the loneliness clung to him like a second skin, a constant reminder of the life he had lost. Day after day, Elias navigated the challenges of single parenthood in a world that seemed designed to break him. Mornings blurred into evenings as he juggled Lila's school pickups with his graveyard shifts, often arriving home with just enough time to microwave a meal before collapsing into a fitful sleep haunted by memories of Maria's final whispers. Lila, sensing her father's quiet despair, tried to be the perfect child, drawing pictures of happy families and practicing piano on an old keyboard they scavenged from a thrift store, her tiny fingers mimicking the melodies Elias hummed absent-mindedly while cleaning. But the struggles mounted, the rent increases that forced them into a cramped apartment where the walls echoed with neighbors' arguments, the doctor's visits for Lila's recurring asthma that drained what little savings he rebuilt, and the gnawing isolation of being the only parent at school events, where pitying glances from other families stung like salt in wounds. Elias buried his pain deep, channeling it into quiet acts of survival, patching Lila's worn shoes with duct tape, skipping meals to ensure she had enough, and whispering encouragements to her dreams even as his own withered. At work, he endured the subtle disdain of the employees, the way they averted eyes when he passed, or the occasional joke about the help that reinforced his invisibility. Yet, in rare moments of solitude, when the building emptied and the atrium's piano stood unguarded, Elias would steal glances at it, his heart aching with the ghost of music long silenced, wondering if the keys still remembered his touch. As the years wore on, Elias's routine became a monotonous grind, each day a battle against the tide of despair that threatened to pull him under. Lila grew into a spirited 8-year-old, her curiosity about her mother's past leading to questions that pierced Elias's heart, forcing him to relive the agony of loss while painting pictures of Maria's vibrancy for her. He shielded Lila from the harshest realities, like the times he pawned his wedding ring to cover utilities or the nights he cried silently in the bathroom after receiving eviction warnings. At Apex, whispers of corporate excess contrasted sharply with his frugality, the lavish parties, the executive bonuses that could have changed his life overnight, fueling a quiet resentment he never voiced. But beneath it all, the music simmered, a dormant fire in his veins, emerging in hummed lullabies for Lila or improvised tunes on the thrift store keyboard that brought fleeting joy to their dim apartment. The turning point loomed unknowingly during the annual holiday gala, a glittering affair where Apex's elite gathered to celebrate another year of profits. The atrium transformed into a wonderland of twinkling lights and catered delicacies. Elias, assigned to clean up spills and maintain order, hovered on the periphery, his uniform a stark reminder of the divide. It was then that the group of mid-level managers, buoyed by champagne and boredom, fixed their gaze on him, their jest born from a mix of alcohol and entitlement, challenging the old janitor to entertain them with the piano, expecting clumsiness or refusal to provide a quick laugh. The atrium fell into an expectant hush as Elias approached the grand piano, his steps measured and heavy, the weight of years pressing upon him like an unseen audience. The manager's smirks widened, phones poised to capture the anticipated fiasco, while others in the crowd murmured in mild curiosity. The CEO, a formidable woman named Victoria Hale, observing from her vantage point with detached amusement. Victoria, known for her razor-sharp business acumen and unyielding demeanor, had built Apex from a startup garage into a billion-dollar empire, her personal life a fortress of solitude after a bitter divorce that left her cynical about vulnerability. As Elias sat on the bench, his fingers hovering over the ivory keys for the first time in public since Maria's death, a flood of memories surged, her smile during his recitals, the way she rested her head on his shoulder as he composed the final piece he wrote for her in the hospital, a haunting elegy of love and farewell. He began to play, not with hesitation, but with a depth that poured from his soul, the notes rising like a gentle storm, weaving a tapestry of sorrow and resilience that filled the vast space. The melody started soft, evoking the quiet joys of a shared life, then swelled into the turbulence of illness and loss, each chord a cry of anguish, before resolving into a tender hope, mirroring his bond with Lila and the unyielding love that sustained him. The room transformed in that moment, the initial chuckles dissolving into captivated silence as Elias's performance unfolded, his eyes closed, lost in the music that had been his silent companion through the darkest nights. Faces in the crowd softened, eyes glistening as the melody resonated with their own hidden pains, lost loves, unspoken regrets, the universal ache of human fragility. Victoria, seated at the head table, felt an unfamiliar sting in her eyes, the elegy piercing her armored heart, reminding her of her own estranged daughter and the choices that prioritized empire over empathy. Whispers rippled through the audience, phones now recording in awe rather than mockery, as Elias built the piece to its crescendo, his fingers flying with a passion honed by private grief, the final notes lingering like a benediction. When he finished, the atrium erupted not in laughter, but in thunderous applause, tears streaking cheeks, including Victoria's, who rose slowly, her composure cracked for the first time in years. In the days that followed, the video of his performance went viral within the company, then beyond, sparking inquiries into Elias's past and revelations of his forgotten talent. Victoria, moved to her core, sought him out, not with pity, but with genuine admiration, offering him a scholarship for Lila, a promotion that honored his skills, and a platform to share his music once more. From that night onward, Elias's life began to mend, thread by thread, the music that had been his solace becoming a bridge to new beginnings. He composed again, dedicating pieces to Maria's memory and Lila's future, performing at company events and local venues, his story inspiring others to look beyond surfaces and extend kindness to the unseen. Lila flourished, her asthma managed with better care, her dreams of music school now within reach, as father and daughter rebuilt their world on the foundation of resilience and unexpected grace. The managers who had mocked him offered apologies, they're just a catalyst for change, while Victoria found in Elias a reminder of humanity's capacity for beauty amid brokenness, softening her own edges and fostering a more compassionate corporate culture. Elias, no longer just the janitor, walked the halls with quiet dignity, his mop replaced by sheet music in his bag, the piano in the atrium now a symbol of second chances. In the quiet evenings, as he played for Lila, the notes carried echoes of the past but promised a brighter horizon, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. If this story has touched your heart, stirred memories of your own struggles and triumphs, or reminded you of the magic in everyday kindness, please like this video, share it with those who need inspiration, and subscribe to Moments of Love. Your engagement means the world and helps spread these emotional journeys further. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one act of kindness that changed your life, or a hidden talent you've kept secret? Drop it below, and let's build a community of shared stories.